The divine crossing guard. I want to talk about the divine crossing guard. Sometimes the light doesn't just lead you, it blocks. It blocks paths so you don't go down them, right? And I can resonate with that. There's plenty of times where Spirit has blocked opportunities, that things I've seen as opportunities. So that way I don't go down there, right? You think denial, you think that it's a denial or delay, right? But it's just really the Most High holding traffic until you're safe to cross. Spiritual crossing guards could be ancestors, angels, divine timing, right? That spiritual crossing guard that stands between you trying to go fast and go down the wrong way and then harm, right? And think about the crossing guard, how they stop traffic so that way you can cross at the pace you need to cross at, right? And then once you are fully crossed, the divine crossing guard or the crossing guard allows the traffic to keep going, right? So I'm grateful for the divine spiritual crossing guards in my life that held traffic for me so I can cross on my path and journey on the speed that I need to cross at and not be rushed. Shout out to the divine spiritual crossing guards. They are energies that wave the red flag when you are about to walk into something not built for your growth. To the unawakened eye, they look like obstacles. Come on, somebody. To the untuned spirit, they are protection disguised as pauses. How many of us had pauses in our lives that we felt like, dang, why this is happening? But as we going through it and we get on the other side, I'm like, dang, I'm glad that happened, boy. I'm glad they laid me off, right? I'm glad I had to sell the house. I'm glad I had to move. I'm glad I had to do this because it looked like something, but it was this. When you are in alignment, not every no is rejection. How long has it taken you to realize that every no is not a rejection? You know what I mean? And I think about that too. Like, I look at rejection totally different. I'm never rejected, right? Like, it's not for me. And I've said before, like, I only want what's for me. Nothing more and nothing less. The Most High, the universe, whatever you subscribe to, sends these crossing guards to manage the intersections of your destiny. They control the flow of your becoming, ensuring that what's ahead won't collide with what's still healing you inside. You may not always see the spiritual crossing guards, but their fingerprints is all over the delays, all over the detours, all over the divine routes. Somebody say divine routes. You ever been on a divine route? A divine redirection? You on a divine route, right? It's like the HOV lane, right? You can only be in here if you have 2 or more passengers. So a divine route is a lane or a path where it's only for you. And in this divine route or this divine lane, you go at the speed you need to go to. Sometimes you going, you zoom like a Yamaha. And other times you got the hazard on because you're moving too slow. But that's okay, because that's the speed you're supposed to be moving at. To recognize divine crossing guards is to trust that the universe, the Most High, whatever you subscribe to, isn't punishing your pace. It's protecting your placement. Whew. Every delay has a design. Every red light has a reason. The test is patience. The lesson is trust. And the reward, somebody say reward in the comments. Reward is timing that favors your wholeness over the hurry. I had to pause for you real quick. And this is what it looks like in everyday life. A missed call or an opportunity that later reveal that it wasn't meant for your spirit. And I was talking about this too. Like, do you take opportunities that's not in alignment with who you are and your energy? Do you even think about the alignment of your energy when you insert yourself with other things like employment, places to live, friends? I know we do it with our lovers, right? Some of us. Spiritual crossing guards, right? Intervening looks like a relationship ending right before you lose yourself in it. A sudden obstacle redirecting you towards a better path. The feeling of being stuck, only to find clarity in that stillness of stuckness. Intuitive nudges that say wait when the ego says go. Doors closing that protect you from lessons you've already mastered. This is what the spiritual crossing guard, divine intervention looks like to me, right? And then, as I'm coming to this reasoning, or this realization, I should say, this revelation, better said, I have to ask myself, where have I mistaken divine delay for punishment? Where have I mistaken divine delay for punishment? I start to look at everything differently. Here's another one. How do I respond when life waves the red flag? Do I respond with trust? Or do I respond with frustration? And how do I identify that this is a red flag from spirit? Like, talking about getting to know yourself and building a relationship with the Most High. Are you building a relationship with your spirit team so that way you know what a red flag look like? Like, I had to go through that. And I had to say, Spirit, show me what a red flag look like. And I'm taking note. This is what red flags look like. They can look like this. They can like this. They always don't come with a red square. Sometimes they look like this. At what moment of protection did I only realize after the pause? What moment of protection did I only recognize after the pause? Realize and recognize after the pause. So how long after something or divine intervention intervened did it take me to realize that this was divine intervention? A spiritual crossing guard. Shout out to my spiritual crossing guards and to the spiritual crossing guards here on earth. Because I know we got people in our lives that acted in the authority of a spiritual crossing guard here on the 3D. Right? That person who's pulled you to the side and say, honey, let me talk to you for a second. Let me talk to you for a second. Bro, come here, nephew. Come here, son. Come here. That coach, that teacher, that director, that neighbor, your parents, your siblings, your auntie or your uncle, your friend, your lover, your ex, whoever it may be. Shout out to those spiritual crossing guards on earth who assume that role in the moment they need to do it, and they do it well. I'm going to leave you with this. Can you recognize the frequency of a spiritual crossing guard? And I say the frequency because sometimes it's a divine unseen, and other times it might be divinely through someone we know or experience here in the 3D. Can you recognize the spiritual crossing guard? Shout out to Allegra with an E. Thank you for that. Appreciate y'all. This resonate with you? Hit them comments. Peace.